Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Tom Slivick with Michelle Van Fossan. And we were talking about gluten and people that have what is the disease called?
Celiac disease.
Celiac disease. And if you have it, I guess you have to start using different products, get away from regular wheat bread and all the sort of things and that you have to do. Might be similar to what diabetics have to do, which I have. And anyway, so I was saying you basically have to stay away from wheat, but they have different flours and things.
Yes.
So this is a product that is...
This is a flour mix. It's already mixed, and it has tapioca, soy flour, rice flour. It's a mixture of all these flours.
Okay, so I don't eat pancakes very often because I really can't. Okay, but could you make pancakes or something
absolutely.
out of this?
They even have pancake mix. Biscuit makes gluten-free.
So they pretty much are the distributors of food or the manufacturers of food products, are they really getting together to make gluten-free
Oh yeah,
things?
it's a very big deal. And a lot of our local stores, Rayleigh's, Safeway, Cost Less, they all carry gluten-free products.
Does the product cost a lot more? Or
yes.
They cost a lot more?
That flour, I believe this little bag of flour was about $4.
Okay.
Compared to what? $2 maybe for a big bag.
Yeah, but I guess if you don't have all the problems that you have.
And these cookies, like these are Pamela's chocolate chip cookies. That was like $4.25 for not very many of them, probably about 12.
Okay.
Udi's bread. That's also around about $3.50. So yes, a lot
this
more.
Is light. I'm telling you, that's a very light loaf of bread. Okay, and all right, that's whole grains, and so you're going to have to regulate your diet. Okay, and you're having a wonderful class at Sutter Amador Hospital. I believe we gave people the dates. Why don't you give it to them one more time?
Okay, our gluten-free support group will be this Thursday, the 18th, and it'll be at 5:30 to 7 in the multi-conference room, which is the conference room next to the cafeteria at the hospital.
Now, do you have to be diagnosed with this?
Oh, no.
You know, before you start to do this, or do you just think, well, maybe I have this?
And that's what a lot of people have done. They'll go gluten-free.
Does it cost a lot to get diagnosed?
No, it's basically a blood test where they first rule, and then they do a intestinal biopsy.
Okay. All right.
So those are the two tests that will really diagnose if you have celiac disease.
Okay, well, go to that class, and then we're going to, Michelle, one more thing. Now, why don't we move in the realm that I know a little bit about, diabetes type 2, and why don't we tell people what that is? Why don't you go?
Well, type 2 diabetic, which you are diagnosed with, correct? That is where your body cannot make enough insulin. And when that happens, type 2 diabetics, either they can control their blood sugars with diet, some have to go on oral medications, and some have to go on insulin. It just depends if they can control it, by diet.
Okay. And an interesting thing about type 2 is that I've heard of a lot of people since I've got it that, not necessarily a lot of people, because I don't know all that many people, but after they get control of their diet to a large degree, and they also lose some weight, a lot of them don't need anything anymore, I think, except to just watch a weight. Now, I'm not suggesting this happens to everybody, but it does happen.
I've seen some people go off oral meds once they lost the weight and just being controlled by diet. I mean, you still have to, watch your carbs and follow pretty much a diabetic diet.
Right. Okay. And, so I have type 2, and I think I have it pretty well under control. I think I actually have it, under control quite a lot. And that's got to do with diet, a lot to do with diet. Why don't you tell people what big changes will they probably be making in their diet?
For a diabetic, well, basically, it's your intake of carbohydrates. And it's very important that I always stress 3 meals because you don't want your blood sugar to drop drastically. So you want to eat 3 meals and maybe 1 or 2 snacks. And at your meals, you want to have consistent carbs. For example, with a woman, it could be 45 grams of carbs per meal. For a man, it could be 60. And that all depends if they need to lose weight or maintain their weight. And so that's where reading labels comes in. You need to read labels to read how much carbs are in a serving of whatever product you are eating.
Okay. Now, I might be going about this part the wrong way. I didn't have the celiac disease, so, sometimes when you don't know hardly anything about anything, you can do a lot better interview than if you think you know something about something. Why don't we tell people how people probably get type 2 diabetes?
Well, majority of people is because they're overweight. That's the biggest reason. I'm seeing more and more children, young children and teens that are becoming type 2 diabetics, and mainly is because of their obesity.
Will we know what the connection is between being overweight and not being able to produce insulin?
I don't know what the connection is, but you have a higher chance of developing diabetes if you are overweight.
And
whereas type 1 diabetic usually happens very young,
okay.
and that person has to take insulin.
I had an aunt with type 1 diabetes, and that was actually kind of scary with me as a kid, because a few times I found my aunt on the floor, and you would go to the refrigerator fast because you always had Hershey bars there.
Right, that's the one time you definitely want carbs right away, or drink an orange juice, something
orange
really,
juice,
or even soda, regular soda, to get your blood sugars back up.
Okay, so when you're diagnosed with diabetes type 2, you generally go on some medication. Oral medication that helps, I guess, my body produce insulin more. Now, and you have to watch your diet right away, because, and it was stunning to me, because at first I went in when I was looking at this pretty seriously, and I went and I go, okay, well, I can't eat any carbohydrates. Okay, so I'm noticing, well, I can't get this, and I really can't get that, because I'm looking at the back, well, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Oh my gosh, there's nothing I can eat, And then I go on over and go like, well, I guess I can eat this. And I started to pull some jerky off, and I notice I'm filling the shopping thing up with stuff like that. And then I go like, oh my God, look at the salt in this. There's no way, because also having hypertension, and I'm going like, I can't eat this either. So what can I eat?
Well, basically any meat,
right?
Fruits, vegetables. Fruits have carbs in it, and definitely have fruit. It's just limiting the amount.
I moved more to the salads and the vegetables.
Salads.
Throw some eggs in there,
protein,
and things like that, and moved into that way. Also, when you get this, you get a meter. I think I was going to bring mine, but I didn't for this. But I noticed when I first got it that after I ate almost anything, I took my blood sugar and then took it again maybe in 2 hours. I could see where it was going up and coming down. And from that, I think what I did was kind of decided what I could and couldn't eat and what was best.
And you would know. You would know, especially like the night before, if you go out and eat a real high-fat diet and then take your blood sugar the next morning, you're going to find it's going to be high.
Maybe we'll just use for a little personal thing a little bit. What I think the hardest thing for me to understand, I'm still not sure if I totally understand it, is like a morning bounce. You know what that is?
Morning bounce.
Yeah. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and I wake up at night, and maybe I take it at night, because this is when I was really tracking a lot, and my blood sugar would be maybe 100, 107, and I didn't eat anything. From the later time when I woke up, and when I'd wake up, it would be like at 133 or 135.
That does happen.
And that said, they said it was like a morning bounce. And I believe the last time I talked to my doctor, he had told me that your body will kick in and put some insulin or something in there, whatever it is that raises it to keep you from, probably passing out or whatever in the middle of your
the one
sleep.
thing you don't want your blood sugars to go too low.
Well, that's a little esoteric, I guess, of all this. But what is it that you teach people at your classes?
Well, we have a diabetes program at Sutter. It's been 15 years now that we have diabetes educators. They're trained. We have 2 dietitians that are diabetes educators and 2 nurses. So we're going to have a diabetes fair this Friday from 9 to noon at the hospital. I encourage everybody to come. There'll be a lot of vendors there, a lot of information for diabetics. Blood
Okay.
testing will be done. So it's a very, very good fair.
Okay, and it's we only have about a minute and a half, but I wanted to say, like, diabetes is it's pretty serious.
It's very serious.
It'll kill you. In fact, quite a few. I almost believe what was it, about a quarter of the people that expected to die, which we all are, whatever, might get that way from complications of diabetes.
Right. That's why it's so important to get your blood sugars under control and keep them under control. Yeah.
Okay, and it's all basically by diet and I guess some discipline. But after a while, you learn the taste, you learn what you can and can't have, and it gets to be more easy.
Right. Right.
Okay. Now, what do you find that people find the most? We have 1 minute. What are they most surprised at when they come to your class?
For the diabetic class, or you mean for the number one, our diabetes educators, it's a 1-to-1. And then we have a class later on, but everyone has a 1-to-1 appointment with one of our diabetes educators.
Okay.
Probably that they can really eat anything, but they just have to calculate the carbs. I mean, if they really wanted a piece of candy, then read the label, and yeah, they can pretty much have anything.
Well, I've certainly enjoyed you coming by and talking to us, and remember there's a class on on Friday.
The fair is this Friday from 9 to noon, and my gluten-free support group is Thursday from 5:30 to 7.
Diabetic fair.
Yeah, it is fun.
All right. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I was with Michelle Van Fossan, and this is Tom Slivick. Thanks for watching this News in Depth. We'll see you again next time here on TSPN. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.